So the American President Donald Trump hosted Flavio Bolsonaro at the White House. He, remember, is the son of the former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, who in the past had received backing from Donald Trump. Jair Bolsonaro was also called the Trump of the tropics. Now, the younger Bolsonaro posted an image of himself standing next to the American president at the Oval Office, and the Brazilian leader, who's also a presidential hopeful in the upcoming elections, has now urged the United States to designate two organized crime gangs in his country to be terrorist groups. Interestingly, Brazil's incumbent president Lula da Silva has also discussed a combined fight against organized gangs during his Washington visit earlier in the month. Now, both leaders had touted their bilateral as a quote-unquote great and a satisfactory meeting. But Trump is also known to have shown support for Lula's political rival and the former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. The American leader had slammed Brazil's authorities and even the top leadership for a quote-unquote a witch hunt to jail the former president. Jair Bolsonaro was facing charges of plotting a coup after losing the 2022 elections, for which he was given a 27-year prison sentence. But the former president is now serving his penance under house arrest due to health issues. Now, on his son's part, Flavio Bolsonaro's Washington visit also has come at a time when his presidential bid has taken a bit of a beating after the conservative candidate received campaign money from a disgraced banker. It appears that the presidential candidate is now seeking to boost his approval ratings at home with a timed meeting with Donald Trump. Whether or not that works in his favor is, of course, the big question. And our correspondent Susan Tehrani is still with us from New York. Susan, Jair Bolsonaro, someone who is called the Trump of the tropics, he was a big fan of Donald Trump and he got along really well. Tell us the dynamic between Flavio Bolsonaro, because at this moment, Lula da Silva, although he met Donald Trump, is not exactly a big fan of Donald Trump, so to put it. So how does that dynamic play out with Flavio Bolsonaro?
Yeah, two very different candidates. Of course, Lula being completely left-leaning, and then you have Flavio Bolsonaro, the son of Jair Bolsonaro, as you mentioned, meeting with President Trump and posting that picture. Was interesting that when reporters asked him whether or not Donald Trump endorsed him, he said, "We only talked about the designation of terrorists regarding those gangs." But nonetheless, that does come across as an endorsement. The question is whether or not meeting with Donald Trump and the steps that he's taking right now to sort of fight organized crime is going to be enough to bring his numbers up. It appears that he's not doing very well in Brazil.
Interesting. Thank you very much, Susan Tehrani, for joining us with those updates there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.